Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Brightworks. Today, excited to bring you the new map in Beyond All Reason, Thermal Shock, version 1.0. A brand new map brought to the Beyond All Reason pool. Today, on a very high skill 8 versus 8 game. This should be interesting. Now we've got a red team down here on the southern eastern side here, southeastern. This is a sort of diagonally balanced map. It's one of these interesting ones where it's sort of pits the teams into southeastern and northwestern. We've got a very interesting mechanic on this map. Oh, let me clear the map, by the way. You know, we all appreciate a good clean map here. Keep this game clean and our maps cleaner. Interesting mechanic to this game. You'll notice that there's a lot of lava here. Very similar to Forge if you've seen any of my games casted on those. Feel free to check those out. But the Forge mechanic is that there's lava underneath the ground. Here, the lava starts high, and apparently, eventually, the lava will recede. Now, I'm not sure exactly the time frame. This is the first time that I'm taking a look at this map, so I'm just taking a brief look around to really study it and see what's up. But it does look like there's going to be some interesting points of conflict here. Notably, there's this area with the geothermal. That would be an important one to control. If you can manage to secure that, that would be extremely beneficial. There's also more geothermal plants back here, and some other islands that you can control over here. Now, you're going to have to use an aircraft in order to secure these, I believe, because there's no unit that can traverse this lava safely, aside from air, of course. So maybe we'll see some aircraft coming out of these players in the back line here. Taserin. Oh, I guess I should introduce our team, shouldn't I? That'd be real professional of me. We have Flash, very well-known player. We have Taserin, we've seen quite a few times. We have Screwish in orange over on this side here. We have Z playing in the hot pink, going to be taking a frontline position. Definitely going to have his work cut out for him in this sort of southwestern side of the map, southwestern corner of the map. We have Moz playing in the, I guess the beige, you might call that. We have Crab Scratch, another popular player, another well-seasoned player. We have Mr. Fox playing in the light pink here, and we have Endorphins playing in the darker beige, the almost brown color there. For our Northwestern Blues team, we have El Barto playing a backline position here, going for the aerial units. I do like to see that. I think that'll be interesting. He's going to be able to claim some of these aerial mexes. You can see he queues those up right away. Very nice. We do have Raiko playing as the sort of electric green, the lime green color here. I like that color quite a lot. And he's pushing forward, going to be contesting Z on the other team. We have Littler, let's call him Littler. It sounds a little nicer. Maybe YouTube will be a little more forgiving. Going for some energy production, some wind production. Looks like he built a bot lab but has reclaimed it. And he's going to be going for an air lab. Very interesting. Spooter Friend playing over here. Looks like he had an air lab, or maybe was just gifted a transport, but either way, playing in the light blue, I guess I would call that. I almost want to call it a lime blue. Like, it's very, very, very green in that blue. We have Amir playing in the dirt green here, sort of in this center area, and you can see already contesting Flash for this central island. Not willing to give that up easily. We have Grizzly with the powder blue. Very nice color. I've got some friends who really enjoy that color, and I do too. I think it's wonderful. But Grizzly here, it's sort of a backline position, although he does have this lane that he's going to have to try and keep secure. We have John Hunter in the, I guess this is even more of a lime color, isn't it? It's very, very light green, almost a yellow green. And we have Victor the 11th playing right here on the front line, going to go up against Mr. Fox. And looks like he's already got those units out. 4 minutes for an introduction. Boy, maybe we can get those faster in the future. But for now, we have our players introduced. Front lines, I mean, kind of interesting to see. Like, there's a front line that kind of extends like this, and then there's sort of a front line that kind of extends across here. And those are sort of the two front lines that I mainly see. I'm not sure how this area over here is going to be contested. I mean, I guess fighters are going to be contesting the aerial constructors. That's kind of how I see this going down. So maybe an interesting idea if you're playing on this map, get some fighters out and patrol them around this area so that your enemy can't use their aerial constructors to build over here. Littler sending his comm forward. It'd definitely be nice to snag that with your aerial fighters. Looks like the commander actually takes damage when it's being flown over the metal there. Very interesting. You can see these metal spots are 1.8. All of the above ground metal spots are 1.8. It looks like, yeah, it looks like pretty much all of them are 1.8. Any of the ones that are below the lava, which are obviously inaccessible at the moment, are going to be 2.4. So when that lava finally recedes... Whoa, somebody's really spamming there. This is a live game. Recording this live. First time it's ever been seen by human eyes. Spooderfriend and Z having a little bit of a conflict here. Z taking quite a lot of damage, so definitely feeling the hurt here. Wow, down to 6% on that commander. I'm a little worried for him. Z goes down, giving Spooderfriend access to all that metal. It's going to be very important for him to hold on to. Trying to convince Raiko to push in and distract his units from harassing. Spooderfriend comes in with the transport to evacuate his commander out of there so it doesn't go down. I think it's a great play there. Keep his commander alive as well as he can. Mr. Fox with a little bit of a push here. We can see the lava has receded from its first zone here. Yeah, indeed, some of this area right here has been dropped down, and you can see that these the metal extractor spots are exposed. 2.4. I don't believe the lava rises back up, so it like sinks down in one area, and then I guess it'll sink down in different areas, and it'll expose a little bit more metal, some richer metal too, which is important. I believe Z was able to reclaim his commander's wreck there, so actually Spooderfriend did not get the benefit of his commander, or rather of picking off the commander, and instead Z is going to be reaping the 2,000 metal reward of such. It might have been Moz as well, though. Let's see. Moz does have quite a bit more metal. It might have been him. Maybe they shared it. Either way, that metal did go back to the red team. Skirmish here, keeping his units alive, maintaining a front. I'm betting that he is teching. What is he up to? Hard to tell. The blue team has done a phenomenal job of claiming this entire island area over here, setting up defenses, setting up aerial defenses, building metal extractors, making sure that all of this is possessed by them, and I think that's absolutely the right idea. I think that's a huge advantage that they're going to have here. If we just select these, not you, there we go. And we select all of the metal extractors, basically what I'm looking at here. Let's not forget that one. We're up to an extra 20 metal going back to the blue team from all these islands that they essentially have uncontested. Tremendous engagement here by Amir and Flash. The salvos of rockets are punishing both commanders, holding their front, making sure that their units stay alive as well as they can make them. Amir is sort of in a 2v1 here. I think probably falling to Grizzly to support him at some point, but it hasn't happened yet. There's a lot of dead units over here, so I'm not sure where those came from exactly. But Amir, for now, holding the front line very well. Mr. Fox moving in to claim these metal extractors. It's almost like that team hasn't really noticed, although I guess Amir has claimed his on this side of the map, but the line is pushed up in such a way that Mr. Fox does have the control over those high-value metal extractors, which is very nice. Spooderfriend with a frontal bot lab. That's actually very nice. This map is huge, so I think that's very important to get your production structures moved up as far forward as you can get them, because it's going to take forever to move your units up to the actual battlefield otherwise. You're going to have a huge trail of units. Ooh, that's a bad engagement for Spooderfriend there. Putting his units right in the middle, and they all get surrounded, taking a huge amount of damage, and a lot of them go down without being able to trade out super efficiently. That's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. Just have to roll with the punches, keep things moving, keep things grooving. Littler now with a comm drop. He has sent his commander in an air transport. It looks like he's bailing out on the idea. It's kind of a shame. I would have loved to see him drop it there and try and take something out, but deciding better of it, just putting his commander on one of these islands over here to keep it safe. Let's clear that map really quick. And we can see that the line is sort of interestingly drawn. We have most of the red team here in this, I guess, the center of the map. It's kind of hard to say. Like, I want to say the northern half, but it's really the center of the map here. And then extends all the way down to the southwestern corner of the map. So they've got this kind of southern eastern side of the map in their control. But the blue team does have the entire north half of the map, pretty much. All of these islands are under blue control, which I think is going to be, if anything is going to be the thing that turns the tide of this game, I think it's definitely going to be all that metal coming into the blue team from all these islands here. I think it's a great strategic decision from that team. I would love to see these constructors come on over here and start building this geothermal plant. I think the more energy, the merrier, of course. Your energy overflow goes back to your team. So there's always going to be someone who can use it, either convert it into metal, or use it for construction, or use it for units, use it to cloak, whatever it needs to be. Somebody in the chat asking, lava going down again soon. I do not know, but I sure would love to see it when it happens. I missed the transition here. I wasn't paying attention, so I want to try and keep my eye out for it. Not sure exactly when it's supposed to happen. Does it look like it's gone down a little bit? It kind of looks like it has, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Some bombers coming out here, blind bombers. Not my favorite thing. You all know I do love a good scout on my bombers. I think bombing can be quite beautiful, an art form, if you will. But definitely, you have to do it properly. That's not to say that Zarin doesn't have the experience. Probably just didn't have the scouts queued up in time. That's all right. The bombers do find a little bit of wind production. That's nice. It's not a bad hit. We see some units walking into the lava here. I miss rally. I imagine that has to happen quite often on this map. I do see a few units over here that I noticed, and I'm sure there's plenty more that I haven't caught all around the map walking into the lava. You can see the lava here has even receded a little bit. That's kind of nice. Just so everyone on the map is aware of the state of the lava. You have these little segments here. Now this is interesting. Building a little wall off around your beholder. I did talk about that in one of my videos. The controls, hotkeys, tips, and tricks video, I think is the one I talked about that in. I love to see that. It's a great idea. When you look at this as a player, I mean, unless you're one of the now 500 people who've subscribed to the channel, feel free to grow that number if you like this content, by the way. You know that I unless you watch this channel, you've heard about that tip. You look at this and you think, okay, well, there's a bunch of walls there. No sense in walking up to those or trying to destroy those. So I might as well just go around them, and your camera remains untouched. Now this whole metal top area, this whole side has been completely uncontested. I think we need to see fighters heading up there. I really would love to see some of these fighters from Zarin moving up north to try and contest these aerial construction units. But at this point, you're going to need gunships or something to tear down all those buildings. There is air defense, though. We do have these nettles as well as the thistles in order to poke away at those early light aircraft. Some shuriken down here to try and help mop up these units, but there are some whistlers, or rather lashers. I believe whistlers are the armada equivalent there. A little bit of an engagement here on Spooder Friend's front, rather. Looks like they were pushing in a little bit on this kind of upper ridge down here. I think that's a great map design choice to have an upper ridge and a lower ridge right here. I think that's kind of interesting. Makes for some interesting strategic decisions. We do see a beamer, the medium laser turret for Armada. Very interesting. T2 bots are out now, T2 fiends. They are on the field, and they're lethal. Spraying their bouts of flame, they're able to lay out some severe punishment to enemy units that they should come across. Tearing down a construction turret or two, always nice. Yeah, reducing the build power of this base is going to be very, very helpful. Allow Raiko to push forward quite a bit. Now there's an army coming here on the side, and I think he's going to have to address this in some way, because that is actually quite a lot of pawns. Yeah, we're going to need to see either this push just go all the way through, or we're going to need to see these units turn around, deal with this army, and then turn back around to continue their push. Really good stuff. Mr. Fox has sort of slowed down. I wonder if he was pushed back a little ways. I have to assume that he must have been from some sort of push one direction or another. We do see some of John Hunter's units up here on the front. I wouldn't hate seeing these units transferred over to Emir. I think that might be very helpful, because you have to micro all these units, and Emir's already microing these on the front line. So it wouldn't be terrible to see those units transferred over, I think. Not really a problem, though, just something to consider in your own games. These tanks, these brutes, have not been addressed yet, though. We do see some units catching up to them slowly, but they haven't caught up to them yet, and so far they've been a real pain. Oh wow, and look at that, the red team has decided to resign. You know, I don't blame them entirely. I think they might have seen exactly how much metal the advantage was on the northern half of the map here, and they realized, yeah, there was just too much of a metal disadvantage. This game could have gone a lot longer, but I think they called it at a reasonable time. What an excellent match, high skill match. You see these are all above 25. I think they're all 30s, 30 or so, around that. We'll take a look at the graphs here. But thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you have a spectacular rest of your day.